Hey guys, welcome to Alex Everyday, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a stool for your counter. Now this does take a lot of sanding. It is done from 2x4s, and my wife loved the design, so I decided to build it. So without further ado, let's get to the build. So guys, the first thing that we want to do is cut out our top, and the top consists of several pieces that are going to be made from this 2x4. We're going to cut it about 17 inches long each piece, and then we're going to rip that right in the middle. Now we're actually going to lay these down flat, and then we're going to carve out the round part of the seat. Now if you do have a jigsaw, or if you have a bandsaw, you can actually cut this out instead of having to carve it as we will in the future. So if you have one of those, as soon as you rip these in half, cut out the shape that you want for the seat, and then we're going to follow with the glue up. Since I did not have it, I just went straight and cut it, and then we're going to carve out the seat later. Once you cut each piece, rip them down in the middle. So you can end up with a 17 by 1.75, around there. Now you want to face them all on your workbench, and you're going to apply some glue to it. So start turning each block and start applying glue to each face that's going to be glued up. Make sure you apply plenty of glue, as this will be the seat, and you'll be sanding it and carving it, so it needs to be very sturdy. So make sure you spread it all the way through every board, and it's a very nice tight bond. Now we're gonna move to the legs. Now I grabbed two pieces about 26 inches, and these are gonna make up the legs. Now from 2x4s, you're just gonna rip down the middle to make two legs out of each piece. Now the height depends on your counter or the table that you want to use this for. This is the height that works for me. Now you want to grab your remaining piece and you want to cut a 5-degree angle, and then you're going to rip it right down the middle This is what you're going to use for your supports to make an A-frame for your legs. Now remember, you have to cut these at 5 degrees, and that's going to help you get the right angle in between each leg. Also, each leg at the top and bottom, you want to cut them at 5 degrees as well, each end, so they actually slant to hold the chair and be parallel to the ground as well. At this point, I'm just making sure where I'm gonna put the support, which is a little bit under 2/3 of the way. I'm marking every side to make sure that I won't flip any board and they won't go in the wrong direction. Now once I have this, I'm measuring where I'm gonna drill my holes, countersink them, put a screw right through it, and hold each piece together. Make sure you apply glue. This will help with the sturdiness of the final product. Repeat this process on both A-frames. At this point, I also made myself some wood putty, and I covered every hole so no screws will be shown at the final product. Once you have everything nice and dry, make sure you do a test fit. Make sure everything is nice, and you can start aligning it to see where everything's gonna end up being. At this point, I did decide I'm gonna give it a sand to all the legs and make sure I get a feel for what's gonna look like at the end. You can do this at the end. I also repeat it at the end, but I just decided to give it one sand all over. Now what I'm doing here is I'm gonna make a mark to where the curvature of the seat is gonna end. You wanna leave some space on the sides that are not curved for the chair. I'm also gonna find what's the middle of the board because that's how far down I want the seat to go. And I'm also gonna make just a nice curve between those 2 points that I made and the middle of the board. Now, as I mentioned before, I did not have a bandsaw or a jigsaw, so we're gonna cut these down little by little, just tiny, very little. Then we're gonna move the blade down, then we're gonna move the fence, and then we're gonna cut again. And the point of this is you wanna make slots to remove as much of the wood as you can, and then we're gonna chisel the rest out and sand it down. You do this as however you like. This is the method that I chose. I did start chiseling these out, and I found out just hitting it with a hammer was a lot faster and very satisfying, I might say. After you get most of the pieces out, you do want to go with a chisel and try to get them down as much as you can, and then you finish it off with a sander. Now, this will take a very, very long process. It is very tedious, but it is so worth it of how nice it's going to end up at the end. Once you have the seat done, you want to measure out where the legs are gonna go. Now for this, it all depends what size you made it. I just decided I'm gonna have about 2 inches at least all the way around every part of the seat. And now I'm gonna test fit to cut the last support. That's gonna make a box to hold both A-frames together, and it's gonna just make the support for where people are gonna put their feet. To do this again, cut it at a 5-degree angle on both sides, and then just rip the board right down the middle. Now follow the same procedure as you did before with an A-frame, countersink your holes, and just apply some glue for more sturdiness. Always make sure you test the stool, make sure everything's fine before making the final holes from the top of the board of where you want the legs to be. Now you do want to make sure you measure twice, because you only want to drill one hole on the top of the board, as you are going to drill holes right through it. Now at the end I did countersink this and applied some wood putty to make sure that you can't see the holes and it just blends in. Now if you want to make tendons and you want to attach this board however way you like, be my guest. This was just the quickest and easiest way that I had available. Once you put it all together, make sure you test it and give it a go. Now if you do find that it's not perfectly level with the floor, just make some shims and just cut little by little off the bottom of the feet. You make sure that you get it perfect and it's nice and level. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this build. It did take a lot of time. It was a couple days and a lot of dedication. If you enjoyed it, let me know that in the comments or share it with somebody that might like this project. Now I did not have the paint with me to finish this stool, as we're gonna do dark color on the bottom, and actually we're gonna do gray and then dark color on the seat. But since we're in quarantine, I do not have the paint with me. Again, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next build.